Welcome to This Brilliant World, the podcast that celebrates all of the awe, positivity, and brilliance that this world has to offer. We are your hosts,
Steph,
Megan,
and Tams. We hope you enjoy your stay. Hey everyone, welcome to this episode. So I want to start off today by mentioning that one of the problems that I am having while social distancing is never finding quiet time to record. It's become a bit of a problem. So I want to preface everything by saying I apologize for the little things you'll hear in the background occasionally. I try really hard to edit out what I can, but some days there's just too much going on. So you may hear my mom giggle in the background, my chair squeak, or my cat saying hello. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this episode. So let's just get right to it. For 10 years, Ying Ying and Li Li have been friends, spending time in the presence of one another, but never quite finding that special spark. That all changed in late March. It started with Ying Ying spending more time in the couple's shared water pool, while Li Li began leaving a trail of scent around their space and sampling the air for hints of Ying Ying. On Monday, April 6th, the two giant pandas snuggled together and shared their love, attempting to start their very own family, which is something their keepers have been trying to accomplish for years. It turns out that sometimes all you need is a little time away from the prying eyes of visitors. I've been struggling over the last week to find ways to keep my brain busy, finding new projects to do, new stuff to watch, new interesting things to try out. It's a really stressful time for everyone, and having some interesting things to bring a little change or difference into your day-to-day is kind of cool. So I have been scouring the internet and my creative brain for ideas of things that you and your family can try. So this week, we're going to start with hair. I've seen a ton of people online sharing their hair escapades. Women who have always yearned to try shaving their head or try that zany new color are doing it. Guys too. Changing your look is an exciting thing to do and can give you that much needed boost. And if you're stuck at home where no one's going to see you anyway, now may be the time to experiment. I actually have done this myself. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you get to see the pictures, the results. Or you can just hop on my Twitter and you can see I will post a bunch of pictures. I cut my mid-back length hair, so midway down my back, to just under my ears. Thank you, Mom. My mom always cut my hair when I was little and did a great job, so I trust her to do it. And then I took my dark red purple color up to almost translucent blonde and applied a misty lavender, which looked really neat for a couple of days and has now kind of faded to a pinky blonde, which I don't hate actually. But tonight, Step and I are going to try something super fun since we are quarantined together. And we have a ton of Manic Panic in a drawer that has just been collecting dust. So the challenge to one another is I am going to color his hair. He is going to color mine. We get to do whatever we want with as many colors, as few colors as we like, and the other person cannot see it until the color is washed out, like shampooed after we're done, and, it's ready for the big reveal. So we're trusting one another to do something fun and funky, and even if it doesn't turn out, it's something fun and exciting to do together tonight. So that's something that you might think about, trying something different with your hair. Have you ever wished that you could actually attend Hogwarts? I know I have, ever since I read the first book. And if you'd like that opportunity or would like your kids to have that opportunity, you can go to hogwartsishere.com/courses, and you can actually take astronomy, charms, defense against the dark arts, herbology, history of magic, potions, and transfiguration. And what they are doing is they are weaving real-world learning into the Harry Potter lore. And it just looks like fantastic fun, a great way for your kids to learn some new stuff, but kind of hidden as, their opportunity to go to Hogwarts. I am definitely going to be doing it myself. If you're looking for something for yourself, or yourself and your partner, or yourself and your partners, or yourself and your family to do, something I came up with that we're going to try out here kind of revolves around an evening event. So the first thing could be just creating a fancy dinner with whatever you have on hand. Dress up. Make it something that you're really going to enjoy. Eat in another place other than where you normally eat. And do yourself a favor and either do the dishes as you're cooking or save them for the next day. Just get spiffy, light a candle, and enjoy the company that you are with. And if that's your own company, then remind yourself why you're awesome, because you're awesome. The other cool thing that you can do is do a viewing event. Pick a movie or a concert that you're going to watch or a TV show or something like that and create a theme around it. You can do this with kids. You can do this with just yourself. So you could choose Moana and create foods that you think they might have eaten in the movie. Maybe some coconut-based stuff. And you can have your kids use paper and crayons and create props and all that kind of things, which sounds like a lot of fun. I think we're going to be doing it with a scary movie coming up. So we're going to come up with some really weird kind of food to serve ourselves while we watch a scary movie. I think it'd be super fun. And the other thing that I was thinking about, I actually saw online and got a little bit excited. There are restaurants and places that are releasing their most famous recipes online. One of the big ones is Disney World. They have released their Dole Whip recipe and a churro recipe. And I'm going to link down below a bunch of the different participating places. And you may want to have a look, see if something strikes your fancy, and use this as an opportunity to try something that you haven't tried, to recapture an amazing food experience that you've had, or just, a chance to stretch your cooking muscles a little bit. I've got a really jam-packed things I love today. So we're going to start with Jeff Lyons and Betty the Weather Cat from Channel 14 News in Indiana. You may have seen them all over social media. Betty has decided that while Dad does his work from home as a weatherman, she would be very happy curled up in his arms as he delivers the broadcast. It's adorable. It's hilarious. She loves to be in shot, and he's just gone with it. There's some links in the down below to their exploits. And wow, if we can say one thing about working from home, a lot of these kinds of things have shown up, and it's just super adorable. What's cuter than a man doing the weather from his house while holding his cat? I would next like to introduce you to Bob Herzog. He is another weatherman, and he broke into the mainstream a number of years ago with a viral video about him doing his pre-news show makeup tutorial. I'm going to drop it in right here so you can have a listen. The link to the video is in the down below.
I really haven't done my makeup in one of the videos. You haven't really seen the process. That changes today. This, as I understand this, called concealer. It is for concealing things, like the ridiculous circles under my eyes. I can't fill in the divots in my forehead. They are far too deep. I make this face. I don't know why everybody does this when you put on makeup, but you do this face. And right now you're thinking, Bob, that is a ridiculous amount of stuff on your face. And you're right. And then I do a weird little circle here, and I do one there too, because I don't know why. Maybe down here, because that thing still hasn't healed from when I had an ingrown hair. Oversharing. I'm just trying to let people in on the process, Jen. Where's my thing? Okay, good. This is foundation, I think, and this is to help make sure that I have a good, solid foundation for both my skin tone and my morality. I kind of get up into the hairline a little bit because I'm a very pasty and pale person, You know what? I kind of feel like Bob Ross. Just painting happy trees on my face, Jen. Happy trees. Shelby, I'm making one of them makeup videos like the people do. You know how they do?
Yeah. And that video goes on for another couple of moments. If you'd like to see the rest of it, click the link down below. It's well worth your time. The man's hilarious. Another thing about Bob is he is a singer and an actor, and he played Snoopy in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown on stage in whatever town he's in recently. But another thing that he loves to do on his segment is parody songs to do with the weather. So have a listen to this one.
You know what's happened? There's a tree! A tree's falling. Big old tree. Tree's falling. Near Mount Hope, so you can't go that way. You can't go down Elberon in order to get to the 6th Street Viaduct.
I have added an extra link in the links down below to another song that he has parodied. It's a full version of Let It Go from Frozen, and he's turned it into Just Don't Go when there was a bad weather problem in his city, and it's hilarious. One of the other things that he does on his channel is Friday dance or daily dance parties on Friday. So if you check out his Facebook, which I will also link, you can watch that. And he just gets up and he dances to a song, and it is joyful and pretty amazing. So I hope you really enjoy a little Bob Herzog in your life. If you, like me, are in any way a nerd, you may already have heard of the next person I'm going to share with you. His name is Johnathan Coulton, and he is a singer-songwriter. He's amazing. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. So his history is, in 2006, he did a little something called a Thing a Week, in which he recorded 52 musical pieces to try to just prove to himself that he could stick to a schedule and he could do it. And it was magnificent. He did so many different genres and styles. The songs are incredible. They're very nerdy, some more so than others. A lot, I would say most of his songs are funny in one way or another. And he did do a few that were just plain beautiful. So we're going to start off this little Johnathan Coulton Love Fest with When You Go.
Only a moment ago we had nothing but time. Everything lasted forever and you were all mine. Only a dream, I know, thinking you'd never go, tearing off pieces of myself just for the time it buys me. Fold my heart up small or break it into pieces. Find somewhere and keep it there. Take it when you go. There in the frame of your face, in the cast of your eyes, I saw this coming, but still I am caught by surprise. All of this time I knew that I'd be losing you. That doesn't mean that it's okay. That doesn't mean I'm ready. Fold my heart up small or break it into pieces. Find somewhere when you go. Some things you always remember, some things you forget. No way to make it up now, no room for regret. That's no good for anyone, and so I come undone. Now I am less than what I was. Whatever's left is yours now. So fold my heart up small, or break it into pieces. Find somewhere and keep it there. Take it when you go.
I was introduced to Johnathan Coulton from a friend that I played World of Warcraft with. He also knew that one of my favorite things was zombie lore, back when zombies weren't even that cool. So he sent me to this YouTube channel, Spiff World, and there I found this incredibly delightful song called Your Brains.
Hey Tom, it's Bob from the office down the hall. It's good to see you, buddy. How have you been? Things have been okay for me, except that I'm a zombie now. I really wish you'd let us in. I think I speak for all of us when I say I understand why you folks might hesitate to submit to our demand. But here's an FYI, you're all gonna die screaming. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're not unreasonable, I mean no one's gonna eat your eyes. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're at an impasse here, maybe we should compromise. If you open up the doors, we'll all come inside and eat your brains. I don't want to nitpick, Tom, but is this really your plan? Spend your whole life locked inside a mall. Maybe that's okay for now, but someday you'll be out of food and guns, and you'll have to make the call. I'm not surprised to see you haven't thought it through enough. You never had the head for all that bigger picture stuff. But Tom, that's what I do, and I plan on eating you slowly. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're not unreasonable, I mean no one's gonna eat your eyes. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're at an impasse here, maybe we should compromise. You open up the door, we'll all come inside and eat your brains. I'd like to help you, Tom, in any way I can. I sure appreciate respect to my colleagues who were chewing on the doors. I guess we'll table this for now. I'm glad to see you take constructive criticism well. And thank you for your time. I know we're all busy as hell. And we'll put this thing to bed when I bash your head open. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're not unreasonable. I mean, no one's gonna eat your eyes. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're at an impasse here. Maybe we should compromise. Open up the doors. We'll all come inside and eat your brains.
So I have a quick little update before we continue on with the podcast. In the time between me recording this week's episode and me about to put it live, I had reached out to Spiff World, the creator of the Rear Brains video that I mentioned having seen on YouTube. And I was asking him if it would be possible to maybe use the video itself in the YouTube version of the podcast. And oh my gosh, he got back to me within an hour and said yes, that he's perfectly okay with us using it and that he's really glad that we enjoyed it. So thank you so much. And everyone go on over and give his channel some love. Thanks, guys. One of the other amazing things about Johnathan Coulton is that he releases all of his songs under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial License, which allows others to use them in their non-commercial works like this podcast, which is just so generous and fantastic. So I have linked his store like everything else, and I promise I'm going to stop telling you that I'm linking everything in the down below eventually, and we'll just assume that it's all going to be there. But yes, I linked his store in the down below, which is where I purchased these 2 songs to play for you. He's got each song available for $1, or you can buy all of his albums in one fell swoop. So you should definitely check him out, and I hope that you've enjoyed this little introduction to one of my most favorite singer-songwriters. And now I'd like to turn the mic over to another one of our co-hosts, Megan.
So the other day, I was taking a stroll through Twitter, and I saw a tweet that literally made me LOL, but also really got me thinking. Mikey Martin tweeted, "History Essays in 2053 explain the use and role of memes as a coping mechanism during the coronavirus pandemic of 2020. And it is so true. I belong to several group chats with my friends and the people I love as we attempt to stay together apart. And between talking about our daily lives in isolation, sharing recipes for baked goods that don't require yeast, and telling each other the things that we want to do together in the after, we share memes to try to bring a bit of levity to the dark and lonely times that we're living through. So for people that don't know, and according to Wikipedia, a meme is an idea, behavior, or style that is spread by means of imitation from person to person within a culture, often with the aim of conveying a particular phenomenon or theme or meaning represented by the meme. A meme acts as a unit for carrying cultural ideas, symbols, or practices that can be transmitted from one mind to another through writing or speech or gestures or rituals or other imitatable phenomenon with a mimicked theme. So one that I shared really early on was an incredible poem that I found. It was a short piece of untitled prose by someone named Kitty O'Meara. It perfectly captured the sense of loss and anxiety, but hopefulness of how I and many others are feeling. I know that it had the same effect on others as it had on me because it went viral the second last week of March, being shared across social media platforms on different backgrounds with different fonts and with different pictures. And like most things on the internet, it started to take on a bit of a life of its own. and like most things, a backstory was created for it. One of the most recognizable versions of the poem that I see on social media is attached to a black and white photo of two women in period clothing wearing masks with the caption, "Written during the 1919 pandemic." So being a historian, I knew that this was a reference to the Spanish flu epidemic that swept across Canada, the United States, and most of the world from 1918 to about 1920. And of course, I had to dig a little deeper and found another reference to the poem being written in 1869 by an Irish poet named Kathleen O'Meara, and it was re-released in 1919 at the height of the epidemic. Unfortunately, like many things on the internet, it was wrongly attributed. The author of the poem wrote it on March 16, 2020. Catherine M. O'Meara, a former teacher from Madison, Wisconsin, wrote the poem on her blog, The Daily Record, and it was picked up by Deepak Chopra, among others, and it was shared widely, reaching all corners of the internet. In fact, it was so widespread that Oprah magazine dubbed Catherine Kitty O'Meara the poet laureate of the pandemic. I'm sure you've heard it or seen it, but I'm going to share for those who haven't. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still. And they listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows, and the people began to think differently, and the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully, as they had been healed. So, as we are going about our days in these times, take time for yourself. Take time to breathe. Take time to think. Take time to remember. Take time to plan. But don't worry about writing the next King Lear like Shakespeare did during the plague. Don't worry about coming up with game-changing scientific theories like Newton did when he was in quarantine. Don't worry about writing a poem with the hopes that it will go viral like Kitty O'Meara. Just breathe. Don't forget to look for those small moments that bring you joy. The people that you love and that love you in return. The ideas that challenge you and make you think. The changes that you are making no matter how small they seem. The way your community is coming together while remaining apart. Also, don't forget to keep making and sharing those memes. History students of the future are depending on all of us.
So that brings us to the end of another episode. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us. If you would like to have some of your poetry, your short stories, or your music featured on the show, or if you see anything amazing out and about in the world and you want to share, please feel free to reach out to me at thisworldisbrilliant@gmail.com, and I will see you all again next week. Thanks, guys.